Hello, welcome to the Lionel Wendt Art Center. My name is Sandhini Podar and I am the curatorial advisor for Kala, a new platform to celebrate art and ideas and creativity from across South Asia. And we're very grateful to the Lionel Wendt trustees for giving us this very beautiful space to host the first exhibition called Pivot Glide Echo, which has been curated by Mariam Begum, Kala's assistant curator and the exhibition organizer for Pivot Glide Echo. Kala's mission, as it grows over time, this is going to be hopefully an annual exhibition taking place in the months of January and February every year, is to really serve as a place of convening and gathering, a place for artists, students, curators, critics, writers, and of course the general audience to come together and celebrate great art histories, great conversations, and great artistic practices from across South Asia.
The inaugural exhibition of Kala is Pivot Glide Echo, which is centered around Lionel Wendt's practice, his aesthetic sensibilities and creative pursuits. The reason why we thought of working with Wendt's practice is because he, as a practitioner, is very, very important to the modern art history of Sri Lanka and at the same time that of South Asia. Given the fact that we're also working with the center and we're also working with the archive that is at the center, we have this wonderful opportunity to engage with his work and at the same time explore his work in relation with practitioners from his time, his peers, and also that of contemporary artists of Sri Lanka, which in effect gives us a breadth of 8 decades to look into Sri Lankan art history and at the same time see the kind of resonances they share with Wendt and see how these practitioners have engaged with a versatile range of ideas through and through.
Pivot Glide Echo is divided into 6 clusters. These clusters are a curatorial technique, a method where audiences can come and engage with the practices of the 19 artists on view. They provide a certain kind of intimacy or a set of conversations. Also, it enabled us to think about artists working across 8 decades and how we would bring all of these different generations into conversation with one another across time and space. So the 6 clusters include poems inspired by landscapes, temporality, rhythm, evocative potentials, the body, and really thinking about how image making was pioneered by Wendt, but also has resonances and repercussions with contemporary practitioners. So this is a way of guiding our audiences through the exhibition, and Mariam will be now taking us through each one of those clusters.
In the cluster poems inspired by landscapes, we're looking at how landscapes have offered a source of inspiration to artists. In Wendt's work, we see him engaging with attempting to capture the very idyllic and rustic qualities of Sri Lanka's countryside, and this sense of poetry which is infused in his work resonates also in Vasantha Yogananthan's work in the way he chooses to capture the atmospheric light and the qualities of light essentially. The way in which this poetry is infused in Wendt's work, in Vasantha Yogananthan's work, this focus also on the political and the historical which we see in Mohanad's work, find a sense of convergence and a resonance in fact with Rupanathan Pakiraja's works. The way in which Rupanathan chooses to express pain and suffering in his work finds resonances or what I would call parallels with Akkam poetry, a Tamil poetic tradition wherein expressions of love, longing and desire are also expressed through inspirations that are borrowed from the landscape and the vegetation that is in the surrounding environment. Anoli in her protest series attempts to engage or bring into dialogue the colonial gaze and also the patriarchal gaze. What she attempts to do in her work is to assert a certain sense of autonomy in the histories that she wants to be told. There is this attempt to rewrite history for the present and dissociate from a history of the past. In Liz Fernando's work, we find her going into the archive of photographs taken by Albert Kahn and reinterpreting them in the present in a way where she is acknowledging the way in which identities and histories tend to deteriorate over time, and where photographs as this source or totem which allows you to move back into the past loses its tangibility. Mohinder Binoy, the artist whose work is represented right behind me, works with digital media, digital collages and generative AI. His work is very reflective of our present times. He works very spontaneously, referencing the archive of imagery that is readily available on the internet, and is very reflective of the way in which we are consuming information in the present day, the way we are consuming visuals in the present day. The cluster here, which we call Rhythm, looks into the way in which art practitioners have been engaging with formal aspects, formal conventions such as rhythm, repetition, harmony, movement in their work, along with also light. In this part of the cluster, we are looking at works by Lionel Wendt and his contemporary George Clason, including artists Kavan Balasurya and Sebastian Possenges. When we engage with Wendt, we also find in his work that his practice, his photographic lens is guided through and through by these notions of fluidity, of rhythm, of movement, where one happens to overlap the other, where you will find symphonies between geometries, where you will find him photographing an image. For example, the image right behind me, you would see him working with the repeated lines of the statue of Buddha, but also guiding a sense of movement through the work. Evocative Potentials brings together artists Kingsley Gunatilaka, Maheen Pereira, H.A. Karunaratne, along with Wendt. These artists have engaged with a variety of materials and extrapolated their potentials to elicit certain responses from the viewer and also evoke certain ideas in the process. The artist H.A. Karunaratne works with a wide range of material which go from something as simple as tissue to metal wires to plastic spoons, cardboard, etc. In Karunaratne's engagement with material, you find the artist introducing tension, dissonance into his works through the material. In this work, we find Kingsley interpreting the calligraphic ink drawings and transposing it into metal. We find him working with the malleable properties of the medium, infusing the qualities that you would see in these ink drawings through it, introducing slight pauses, introducing slight moments of fluidity, motion into this work. And here in this cluster, we look at the body as a continued engagement from Wendt and his contemporaries such as George Keat, and also artists like Maheen Pereira, Cassie Machado and Saskia Pintelon. What we explore through the works of these artists are the way in which they have engaged with the subject, which is the body, and also how it opens up conversations on gaze and identity in their works. Cassie's works here are photograms, a camera-less technique. What she attempts in these works are conversations on hybridity and duality, or what she calls doubling. As we continue to explore this idea of the body, we also engage with ideas of intimacy. The work right behind me by George Keat, Berahini, offers a very interesting contemplation on the ideas of intimacy between members belonging to the same sex. It allows room for ambiguity and at the same time leaves us with a lot of questions. George Keat's practice was inspired a lot by traditional miniature paintings with which he had worked, including the Geet Govind and also Dragmala traditions. In the cluster Redefining Image Making, we are looking at works by Ivan Pires, LTP Manjushri and Lionel Wendt. Through this cluster, we are looking at how these practitioners have been challenging themselves and challenging the notions of image making within the region, and also how it contributes or adds to the conversation on the way in which artists have been reinterpreting image making globally. For instance, Manjushri in his work is reinterpreting the body. You find in it attempt to bend reality, perhaps even inspired by his inspiration from surrealism. It allows a reimagination of the body which is sensuous, but at the same time breaks away from the general way in which the body has been imagined or visualized.